Hello guys, how's everyone doing? Spamps here, episode 3 of the Mindstate Talks podcast, and today I'll be talking on light and darkness. When I think about light and darkness, naturally what comes to mind is a good feeling. Gonna start on light specifically. It's a good thing. You think about a certain anime, so when they reference characters like Naruto, one of my favourite animes, he is a light that the world needs. Or you look at things like Superman, maybe he's a light the world needs. Or other characters, could be like Sonic, he's the light the world needs. Mario, he's the light the world needs, Just when you think of light, it's normally, it brings a peaceful feeling to the heart, a feeling of hope, joy. If we want to take it a bit more biblical, you could say to some degree, Jesus, he was like the world needs. He was rejected, but he was like the world needed. And on the other hand, darkness, I think more of destruction. I think more things that cause hurt, unsettles the spirit, unsettles the soul, unsettles the mind. Have you ever been somewhere and you get a weird sort of energy, a weird vibe feeling, and you feel a bit, you're like, this seems a bit dark, you feel a bit unsettled, maybe your heart rate speeds up, you start getting nervous, a bit of drops of sweat, cold sweats, a bit of goosebumps, darkness, just an uneasy feeling. I don't know how some of you might have seen the Transformers. Think of it, Autobots and Decepticons. Autobots light, Decepticons dark. One wanted to save the world, one wanted to destroy. That's another way I'm perceiving this. Destroy and save. So what I'm thinking is, how do you bring out light and how do you lower darkness? Some ways I think you can bring light out is walking with a smile on your face, saying hello to that person on the bus, on the train, on your morning walk, around the park, at a sports club, at a restaurant, at a coffee shop, wherever you may vacate in your day-to-day journey. Just, making someone feel good. Maybe someone has a cool outfit on, a cool hat, has a cool, I don't know, just something that stands out and you say, yo man, that hat looks really cool, man. Or, yo, where'd you get that from? That looks sick. Or that, how you played that shot you made in that football game was epic. Teach me how to do that. I'm trying to be like you. Or I don't know, just kind of gas someone up, like buzz, give them a buzz, I do feel like there's a lot of dark in this world, and the light is getting overcasted through darkness. There is still light, but because of what is going on in the current state of the earth, in the world, with all these wars, the sufferings, the system, the politics, a lot of darkness is being foreshadowed, and the earth isn't in its happiest place, we could say. So I just feel it's important to just try and be that light. And bearing this in mind, I think in time there could be a point where darkness is a lot lower. And also, unfortunately, for light to work, there has to be darkness. There can't be no good without any bad. That's just cause and effect to some degree, and the circle of life. What goes in must come out. What goes out in some form comes in a different form. looking at another way we can lower darkness. Just thoughts, what we project into this reality. Thoughts are powerful. What we say out loud with our tongues binds spells. Spelling, words are spells. We gotta be careful what we say, and what we think is even more vital, as you can think things into reality. Have you heard the saying, think it into existence? What you're thinking will come to light. And you could be thinking something simple like, I want to drive a car. So that is something I thought about. I want to drive a car. And the more I think about it, is I get situations where I could have driven a car, or I'm close to driving a car, test a book, maybe get behind the wheel with a friend sometimes, something more not attainable, something that I've thought before, like, I really want to play football again. Next thing you know, a few weeks later, a few months later, I had a friend say, we play football 5-a-side every Friday, feel free to come and join. Or I had another friend, I'm starting up a team, we need some players. I find it interesting how when you think about something and you really believe in your heart or hold it dearly in your mind, the earth adjusts, God makes ways, and situations in life present themselves that gives you opportunities that you've been manifesting inside your mind. With darkness now, it is important that we understand that darkness doesn't always have to be seen as a bad thing, because you can use that darkness to fuel you. If you're going through a hard time, having a tough day, for me, for example, sometimes in the gym, I'll be having a tough day. We could say for this specifically a dark day. I use that darkness to fuel me to pump more weight, to lift heavier, run a bit faster on the treadmill, run a bit longer, push myself the extra mile, dig that little bit deeper, rather than using the situation to hold me back. I use it to push me forwards. That could also be another perspective of looking at darkness and light. I try to be careful to not get too caught up in the light. Like, I feel when someone has a lot of light within them, naturally you become a magnet, so you can attract good and you can also attract bad. So I'm careful of how I shine the light, as I want to avoid certain situations from occurring in the future, from people wanting to take the light from me. Because at the end of the day, imagine, break it to percentages. Let's say the character is called Light. He's operating at 100% when he's just shining or being his light. Someone else comes along, let's call them Light taker number 1. They're doing quite well themselves, so maybe they take about 5% of his light. Light taker number 2 comes along, they're doing not so great, so they take about 15%. Light taker 3, 25%. Light taker 4, 35%. So we're looking around about 80% of the main character, Light, is gone. So he's only got 20% left for himself. Bearing that in mind, is he going to be operating as Light, full as he could be? No, because he's given out a lot of his light. So with that, you just always got to keep in mind that when you do share light, be careful to reground yourself. It's important to reground yourself, reset, rebalance, refocus, and just realign with your own light. Because as much as you give out, somehow that has to come back in, or you'll just waver. You won't be as light. You'll be more, to some degree, a shadow of your former light. Just something to keep in mind. With that, everyone, thanks for listening. Straw, I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day. Take care.